Hello everyone, in this video I want to keep talking to you about my OCD healing journey with medical medium information, and as always I really recommend everyone that you get the medical medium brain saver book as well as the medical medium brain saver protocols, cleanses and recipe book, both by Anthony William. There are two different books. They are not one book, they are two books. I don't have mine in a physical copy yet. I have it on Kindle only. The second one, Medical Medium Brain Saver Protocols, Cleanses and Recipes. But it's crucial to have both because the second one, among other things, have the full supplement protocols that they have for the supplements. So it's really complete, it's really comprehensive, it really includes everything that you need to be supplementing in order to heal from OCD and from many other symptoms and conditions, schizophrenia and seizures and epilepsy, to treat them, to help you with them, etc. Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, etc., psychosis, and it includes also information to help with many other symptoms and conditions which are not necessarily neurologically related, kind of autoimmune diseases, etc. The thing is that it's really important to have a clear view of what is going on here in the planet at the moment. Like, we are dealing with more health challenges than ever before in the history of humankind, really. Like the viruses that they have created, that they are releasing, that we all have virtually, the Epstein-Barr virus, the shingles virus, and many other viruses that Anthony speaks about in the Medical Medium book series as well as in his different platforms. It's something that it's really, really important to be aware of so that we know how to fight them, how to fight back, how to answer, how to protect ourselves. Let me remind you that cat's claw it's one of the most important herbs ever. Anthony recommends that we get most of these herbs in tinctures, which is a concentrated form free of alcohol, because alcohol cancels out the effects of the herbs in a tincture. So, for example, Vimergy is the brand that Anthony recommends most of all, but then we have another brand that for some herbs that Vimergy doesn't have available yet, Anthony has recommended Nature's Answers, kind of as a second best option at the moment. Sometimes the Vimergy products have been too expensive for me to get, so sometimes I get a Nature's Answers version of the supplements. Another crucial herb is licorice root. Licorice root as a tincture too. We can take also cat's claw and licorice root as tea, but when we take it as a tincture, we get it more concentrated, and this is super important because in order to have enough levels, in order to really eliminate the viruses from our system, we need to get high doses of these herbs in this concentrated form, in this liquid version free of alcohol, and that's why it's very important that we get more companies that create high quality tinctures of these herbs, such as cat's claw and licorice root. Another third herb that is really crucial is lemon balm. Lemon balm, which its botanical name is Melissa officinalis. Lemon balm is super critical for a lot of symptoms and conditions. It really helps with the nervous system. It really helps to bring a calm to the nervous system in general, to the nerves. Plus, it's also antiviral, etc. So, I personally, from what I have experienced and learned from medical medium information, those three would be the three most important herbs that we really should have more options available besides Vimergy, that have lemon balm tincture, cat's claw tincture, and licorice root tincture. More companies should be making these tinctures so that we have more options available of high quality products. And then there's, of course, I have talked about the vitamin B12, the liquid vitamin B12. The best one is the Vimergy one. Global Healing also has a version, although it has also another kind besides methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin, which are the ones that Anthony recommends in 50-50%. So it's not exactly the recommendation of Anthony, but it's kind of the second best option that I have found. I knew about global healing because Anthony recommended it in the past before Vimergy released this higher quality option. There's the liquid sulfate. Again, Anthony recommends Vimergy ones. There's also the iodine minerals brand one, really critical for the liver, for the immune system. We really need to be taking care of ourselves. It's important to take out eggs of the diet, dairy from the diet, gluten for the diet, corn from the diet. And this sounds like really challenging, right? For most of us, that people that eat what we could call a usual diet in the Western world, but it's really worth it. And it's important to emphasize that the reason why we needed to let go of this food is not because they were bad always. In fact, they weren't. They were relatively okay food, nourishing food, nourishing food. But the problem is that they created these viruses, they released them to the population, and before that, they experimented with them, and then they gave the food that we eat, these that I mentioned, to eat the viruses, so the viruses adapted to eat them, and that's how they ruined these foods for us. So it's sad, yes, but it's true. So the point is, if we do not take care of our health today, we are going to be paying a big price tomorrow. Actually, in Medical Medium Brain Saver, Anthony says that in the future, what is going to unite us all is that we all are going to be having symptoms and conditions. And he says that in the not so long distant future, uh, people speaking like me about symptoms and conditions are going to dominate social media because, in the past, you could keep your symptoms and conditions to yourself, be private about them, but it is going to be so overwhelming, so evident that everyone is going through the same, that people are actually start going to look for answers like, what do I do with my chronic fatigue syndrome? I live in Couch Island. I live in Mattress Island, as Anthony calls it. He says there's an army of people that stays all day in bed or in the couch because they are not able to function. They just cannot get up. They just cannot get out of bed, out of couch because the level of fatigue is so strong. And this is very important because last century, in the 40s, I think, when the first round of women start calling the doctor's office because they felt really bad because of their symptoms and conditions, doctors told them, you're hysterical. That's what you have. And it was not until men also started coming to the doctor's office decades later, then they started to consider that actually the symptoms and conditions were real and they weren't only, in women's heads. So now at this point it's overwhelming. The sad thing is that these viruses mutate naturally, plus they release new versions of them, and they have become more and more aggressive. They are able to move through the different stages more and more rapidly. So it's something that it's really challenging for our immune system. We are dealing with so many things. It's so important to supplement with liquid sulfate and liquid vitamin B12 in a 50% methylcobalamin and 50% adenosylcobalamin combination. It's really, really, really critical. To take out the heavy metals from the brain, which is the main cause of OCD in this case, you need to take the heavy metal detox smoothie from the medical medium, which have 5 key ingredients: blueberries, which I'm still fighting to get them in Mexico City. We could import them easily frozen from the USA or from Canada, or from pure juice, pure wild blueberry juice from the USA or from Canada. And fresh cilantro, which fortunately it's easily available. Atlantic dulse, which we can get through Amazon on the internet. Barley grass juice powder extract, which fortunately we have now another option. There are a couple of brands who now have it. The one that Anthony recommends is the Vimergy one, and spirulina. Anthony again recommends the Vimergy version, but fortunately it's also readily available. Spirulina. Anthony always emphasized that many companies put fillers into their powders to reduce prices, and Vimergy is a company that is really, really, really super honest and super clear to all the ingredients that they include. So they have the uh, top quality supplements available at the moment. So these 5 ingredients need to be blended with 2 bananas, with the juice of an orange, and you can add a cup of water or a cup of coconut water at your, you know, to as much as you desire to your taste, and you blend all of them and you take it ideally as a breakfast, ideally after your lime or lemon water and your celery juice. Let's remember, upon waking up, 32 ounces or 1 liter of lime or lemon water, which is 4 small limes or 1 big lime or 1 big lemon. You drink it, you wait 30 minutes, then you drink straight, pure, unadulterated with any other ingredient celery juice, 16 ounces minimum, or half a liter, 500 milliliters approximately. Ideally, 32 ounces or approximately 1 liter, 1000 milliliters of pure celery juice, fresh. You can prepare it in a juicer, or you also can prepare it in a blender, and then you just need to strain it. You do not intake the fiber, only the juice, because this is a medicinal, the most powerful medicinal juice and tonic that we have available in the planet in this moment of time. So it's really, really important to take at least 16 ounces of celery juice every day. 500 milliliters approx of celery juice every day, every day, every day, every day. Always, 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 always. Celery juice, it works as a detergent for the viruses, and also for bacteria, etc. It's also a pH balancer. It's really it's really alkaline to the body, so it really helps, preventing diseases. It fights all kind of bacteria too, viruses, as I said. It reestablish the stomach acid, so you are able to digest food properly. It's really, really super critical. In fact, Anthony published a full book dedicated to celery use called Medical Medium Celery Use that I really recommend that you get. There are 8 books in the Medical Medium book series. It's super, super important. So in the last couple of years, I have taken some fresh cilantro, some wild blueberry powder. A bit was from Vimergy, and now fortunately there's available also Wyman's powder here in Mexico. Thanks to a couple of cousins that I've mentioned in the past, I drank 12 500 milliliter bottles of pure celery juice from Wyman's. I really hope that supermarkets in Mexico City are going to take this seriously. Mexican people held seriously, and they are going to import Wyman's pure wild berry juice, or from another brand from Canada too, like it was called. I don't remember exactly, but there was this other company that I mentioned on my Facebook page. But Wyman's are pure Wildberry juice are sold in Europe, in Amazon Europe. So I mean, if they move, if they travel all the way through the Atlantic, if they cross the Atlantic all over to Europe, why wouldn't we import them? It doesn't make sense. It's something that it's completely unreasonable. I mean, I want to believe that it's because of ignorance, but here I am shouting as loud as I can, meaning not with the level of my voice, but as loud as in putting it on all my social media. It's really critical that we import frozen wild berries from the USA and or Canada, Eastern Canada, and that we import pure wild berry juice. We need to import pure wild blueberry juice. Mexican people need to have these wild blueberries available. because they are not only critical to heal OCD, but to prevent all these diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. But also autism, ADHD, and Anthony says that autism and ADHD can be cured. Autism can be cured when the children take the heavy metal detox smoothie for long enough daily before they turn 18, because it's in the midline canal of the brain where the toxic heavy metals are when autism is present. And when we turn 18, that zone of the brain closes, so it's more difficult to reach and grab the toxic heavy metals and take them out, extract them. But before that, it's easier to get them out with the heavy metal detox smooth ingredients. So it's really critical, it's really important. Check out the medical medium information, and well, I can tell you that the OCD protocol of supplements in the medical medium brain saver protocol cleanses and recipes that I take are extremely helpful, such as melatonin that I take at night before going to sleep, which is part of the OCD protocol. If I don't take the melatonin, I would be even worse my OCD, which that's a lot, because sometimes I had a very very bad bouts of OCD. So as always, I really really apologize. It's something that makes me feel very guilty, that makes me feel very ashamed. I'm really really sorry. I'm documenting my journey, because this is real. This is what happens. People have OCD. Maybe they have other kind of OCD. What produces the different kinds of OCD? Why in my case is negative thoughts about whomever I see or think about? Well, it is because the neurons that are damaged in my brain, the specific zones in my brain that are damaged because of the toxic heavy metals. But the metals can be in any part of the brain, and so the symptoms are endless. There are many many variants of OCD. I wish I had developed a variant of OCD of compulsive cleaning, which is something that would be extremely useful, I think, for me. But unfortunately, in my case, it's the way that it manifests. And after you extract and cleanse all the toxic heavy metals from the brain, you need then to keep taking the heavy metal toxic smoothie, especially the wild blueberries, because they help then heal the damage that was caused by the toxic heavy metals. Also, Anthony, in his medical medium life changing foods expanded edition, uh, extended edition, the latest edition of his medical medium life changing foods, expanded edition, I think it's the name, expanded edition. I'm going to show it to you. Anthony says that berries in general help you heal damage that was caused by toxic heavy metals in the brain. So we have berries available. Blackberries are amazing. Fortunately, they are usually available frozen in the supermarket. So blackberries are actually the best of the ones that we have available. But also, strawberries, raspberries, all kind of berries, Shisandra berries, elderberries, maki berries, amla berries are really, really, really helpful to heal the damage that was caused by toxic heavy metals. But the top of the top, the best of the best, are the guavluberries. The guavluberries, Vaccinium angustifolium, it's their botanical name. So please, whomever listens to these messages that I put out, and if you can do something, I wrote a petition in change.org, wild blueberries in Mexico, wild blueberries in Mexico. I'm going to leave the link below in the description, so you can sign the petition, in which I'm asking that the supermarkets in Mexico City, Amazon Mexico, really have available all these berries, these wild blueberries, because it's really, really important that we all get more knowledge level about our health, about what's going on. Anthony says that they are going to keep releasing more and more viruses. They did it already with COVID, right? So the probability is that we are going to have more pandemics. I am pretty sure that they are quite high. For me, it's almost a given. And we already have pandemics, it's just that these other viruses are more silent, they don't have so immediate acute conditions, but they kind of kill you over time more slowly. So thanks to Anthony William and the medical medium community, more physicians, more doctors, more hospitals are in the know of what's going on, and more scientific papers have been released, and more discoveries have been made thanks to the release of medical medium information, and especially the books since 2015. So we need to keep talking about these topics. We need to keep talking about the importance of organic food and having them at reasonable prices available. There are so much information. I will keep you updated about what's going on with me. As I said, as always, I'm really sorry. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you, as Ho'oponoponopono says. And see you soon.